So we, as you all know, members of the audience here, today is July the 18th, 2022, and we did have a scheduled meeting for today. It was posted on July 14th by the clerk, and we do not have a quorum that's established. As you know, since the governor's orders changed, you have to have 3 physical commissioners. We do have 3. Commissioner Amatis is online, but Commissioner Gonzalez and Chesney are not here today. And so therefore, unfortunately, I cannot call for a meeting. So we do not have a quorum, we do not have a meeting. We will get back with the clerk.
Actually, for the record, do you mind
Yes.
stating the time and calling roll and then establishing not a quorum for the record?
I'll do it.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay, great. I'm going to take a little break as we have new developing information. And I'll just ask the court clerk to take a 15-minute break. And we're going to wait till noon and see if we can resume. Just a very long break before we start this meeting. Okay. Thank you. I'll see you guys very soon. Test, test. Okay. Thank you, everybody. July 18th, 2022. I'm calling this meeting to order for the time and the clerk. It's 12:05 p.m. As you all know, we're here at the Nueces County Courthouse, 901 Leopard, in the 3rd floor of the Nueces County Commissioner's Courtroom. Commissioner Hernandez, I'll just call the roll. Commissioner Hernandez? Here. Commissioner Matis?
Here.
Commissioner Chesney? Commissioner Gonzalez? And of course, myself. There's 3 of us, and Madam Clerk, I do certify that a quorum has been established. Let's do this efficiently, but we should never forget to pledge allegiance to our United States and Texas flags. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, super. Normally, we do have a safety briefing and an invocation. I just want to share with everybody, for time's sake, Rebecca Ramirez is here, and just remind us that we'll be following your lead in case of an emergency. Is that correct? You'll be our 911?
Yes, ma'am. And if anything happens, then follow the directions of the law enforcement. And I just want to say, everyone, stay safe and keep it in mind. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll announce any disclosures of conflict of interest at this time. This is the moment where items on the agenda shall be declared. And if you do have a conflict, you need to refrain from voting and are asked to refrain from discussion on such items. Conflicts discovered later in the meeting shall be disclosed at this time, or at the time that you recognize there's a conflict. Okay? Seeing no conflicts, I will move on. And as I did it out of order, safety's briefing was supposed to be now, but I have been asked, and I do want to oblige, that Commissioner Chesney did want me to acknowledge on the record he could not rearrange his schedule for Monday, but he is not participating in the Padre Valle conversations. This has been consistent throughout the Padre Valle conversations, and so he wanted to let the record reflect that he was unavailable, and he also suggested that he was not consulted on the time for the meeting. I won't belabor it, but I have emails to show differently. Having said that, we'll move on to public comment. Are there any public comments? Okay. There is a very quick, there was general information reports. We're going to skip that. That is from my office. I will ask, though, if there are any questions from the commissioners regarding any of the disaster preparedness and response, including COVID-19, ARPA, ERP, ERAP, or anything. I'm always happy to answer. We're just trying to be efficient. If you don't have any questions at this time, the only good thing, I'll take full advantage of the fact the media's here. I got great news this morning. We're getting closeout documents on winter weather. And so that's a 90%, 10% cost share allocation, Fed. So we have to pay 10%, but we're getting 90% back of our winter weather expenses, save and except that which didn't qualify, which included turtles and de-icing and some things, very small things. But I'm pretty excited about it, and we'll prepare a nice overview for our next court. But if you ask me, that's kind of big news and important news. No questions, Commissioner. I'll move on. There's a regular agenda item, and the first one will be an executive session. So let's do number 2 and 3. Unfortunately, okay, Juan, you'll take over. I was going to say, unfortunately, Michael couldn't be here, but Juan is here to tell us about item number 2. It's a buy-board contract. It's with ProTech. Just for the record, it's number 631-20, and it's for labor and equipment to install a 25-ton temporary air-cooled HVAC at Keach. Juan, do you recommend this?
Yes, Judge, Commissioners, recommend the temporary, or the proposal from ProTech from the buy board. I think right now, it's, for just mobilization, it's about $7,700, and then for a monthly fee, it's $8,350, and then your demolition, or demobilization is $5,700, more or less. So we're recommending it.
And it's going to cool everything, Juan?
Yes, ma'am, right now it's at 71 or 72 degrees.
Pretty
And,
awesome.
Yeah.
The
yes,
funding
ma'am.
source is thanks to Commissioner Mattis, is that correct?
That's correct. I think it's 1388 or something like that.
Commissioner, this is a great gift because obviously it's serving as a cooling center. Thank you for allowing your revenue that you use for your special projects to be used for this emergency.
Absolutely. My pleasure. We still have a few summer events that are scheduled that were big events, and we know we didn't want to cancel those, and some were done off-site that were already scheduled that way, so that worked out. But just to continue that service and just be able to allow people that maybe go to the library just to be able to get out of the heat, this horrible heat that we're having. So I'm glad that this scheduling worked out so that we could
Yes,
get
sir.
it as quickly as possible. That was the one thing that I did share with Juan last week when this came up, was how quickly can we act on it? And so more than my pleasure to help use our tax funds as needed. Juan,
Yes, sir.
how long is this contract? I didn't have a chance.
From the date of approval of the permanent units, Commissioner, we're looking anywhere from 10 to 12 weeks. I'm hoping it's less than that. I think we talked to the contractor, and hopefully, it's because it's going to be a special units, so that's the reason why it's going to take a little bit longer, but crossing our fingers that hopefully it's before the 12-week period.
And how long will it take to get this unit in place?
Sir?
How long will it take to get the temporary unit in place?
Oh, it's already on.
Oh, it's on.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
It's
okay.
been in place since Thursday of last week.
So when I said, or when we all said.
They
Yes,
took
sir.
you
Yes,
literally
we
that
did.
you would
Okay.
take care of
That's
it.
good, that's
Yes,
good,
sir.
okay.
So it's been coming
Okay.
good. Yes, sir.
Okay,
hear.
so I'm going to ask Commissioner Mattis to make that motion.
So moved.
And motion and a second. Any other discussion for Juan? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Post same sign. Number 3 is also incredibly important because it gets us out of the temporary and into the real. This is a approval, discuss and consider approval of a funding source and procurement method for labor, equipment, and materials to replace the 40-ton condensing unit. And let's take it piecemeal. Is there a motion to go out for procurement for this? Also would be a cooperative, correct?
Yes,
Juan?
yes, ma'am. We're recommending it for it so we can keep moving with the project. We're recommending, and it's an emergency on this one, Judge. We do recommend for Public Works to go out based on a buy board contract.
And is there a motion for that, guys? Motion, and is there a second? Second. And then let's talk about the funding source in the discussion piece of it, because we can make it all one motion. We don't know how much it will cost. Do you?
Yes,
we-
ma'am. I think total cost for the 3 units, it's going to be $114,176.
Okay. We discussed on a morning call, Commissioners, I have a Monday morning call where I do eligibility with Haggerty. HVAC is 100% declared as a eligible expense. And so I'm wondering if the funding source could be declared this morning. as American Rescue Plan Act, if that's the will of the court. If you don't, Juan's budget's going to suffer. And I think that, again, having it eligible, having it been an emergency, and we haven't said it for the record, but this was one that we were ready to replace, it just got to us before we got to it. Is that correct? It's old?
It's an old unit, Judge, and then you have the other two units that are, so, we do need to replace them. They're anywhere from 10 to 12 or longer. So, we do recommend replacing these 3 units. I think one of them's a 50-ton unit, the other one's a 20-ton and a 25-ton.
And this would be a buy board contract where it'd be, that would be
A
competitive.
turnkey project, yes, ma'am.
Turnkey project,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Commissioners, let's just go ahead and do the procurement method first. So all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Pose same sign.
Aye.
Oh, thank you. Commissioner Chesney, for the record, is here and on Zoom, and he records an aye vote. Commissioner, did you also record the aye for the temporary? It's Commissioner Amatis paying the temporary units on the agenda before?
Yes, but I don't know that I was on video.
You was not
so-
on. Okay, I just didn't know because I didn't see you.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
would
never
like-
mind.
I would
Kara's been
like-
watching you.
I would
Got it. Well, you know what I
would
mean.
like to, if possible, that's fine.
Yeah,
I would like to, yes, but if not, that's fine.
she understands. Okay, so the next part is the funding source. I'd like to make a motion to use American Rescue Plan Act. We believe it's 114,000, but one can always bring that back.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a second? As I said, I can certify that I checked eligibility this morning, and our whole team was on. The auditor, external auditor was on. Everybody was on to hear that.
Second.
Second? Okay, any discussion or good with you? Juan,
yes,
that
ma'am.
we not
Yes.
take from your budget? Okay.
Yes, I would be in the negatives.
Yeah. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Okay. Yes,
114,000.
Yes.
It's 114, 176.
176. I didn't hear that last part. Thank you. Okay, Juan, you've got what you need. Procurement is here as well. Thank you for making all that work.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Judge,
This is
Commissioners.
just a little bit of a follow-up. When you do the buy board, just don't forget, since we use ARPA, most all of the Texas buy board has the right the right language. But it wouldn't hurt to communicate that with Michael. I mean, just to show him, he's gonna be involved, but just, I meant the Haggerty people, just to make sure all that language is correct, since we're doing it really quickly.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right,
At
thank you.
this time,
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Juan.
yeah, thank you. At this time, for everybody here and online, I'm giving notice that we're going into executive session per Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551 of the Government Code, and we're doing so as I publicly announce that this is an authority with Vernon's Texas Code, Sections 551, 071, 072, 073, 74, 745, 76, 86, and 87. We're going to do this to hold an executive session to consult with our attorneys, including matters relating to litigation, real property. All these are, permissive personnel matters, termination, county advisory bodies, security device, economic development negotiations, and any other matter that may be discussed. Upon completion of executive session, the court may in open session take action as appropriately deemed discussed in executive session. We'll do this right now, and it's 12:17 PM. Got it. Okay, so hold on the time just for a second. Commissioner Chesney, go ahead.
As I indicated, when this meeting was originally set, it was only supposed to be for Padre Bayi, which I had voluntarily recused on. And I'd said I could only Zoom in because I was not available in person. And then they added these items, so I apologize for not being able to be there in person on that. And then also, I wanted to clarify, on the Padre Bayi situation, the only thing that I cannot discuss is part about the deed restriction. But if there is discussion that can be had about the other part of the letter, if that's what goes into, I am able to participate in that, since that has nothing to do with the other. So in the future, I know, and I am not complaining, but in the future, I know that I was really consulted on the time on this because it was supposed to only be Padre Bayou, but I can participate in parts of that discussion. And I can't do that today because I have meetings, but so I just need Jenny to know. That's why I called her earlier, and I know she couldn't call me right back, because I don't know what today's discussion is. If it's a mixture, if it's part of the deed restriction, then I have to sit out. If it's part of the camping part, I don't have to sit out. So I can't participate today, but it's only because I wasn't aware. I don't know what y'all are talking about in there, and I don't. So it's a little confusing. I get it, but I at least wanted to put that on the record as to why I wasn't there today physically, because again, they kind of just told me when it was set, since originally the agenda was only Padre Bayou, and I understand why they didn't necessarily consult me on a time. And I'd said I was just going to zoom in real quick, and that's what I'm trying to do and accomplish. So just wanted to
Understood.
make sure that was all clear.
Thank you, and it is on the record, and I will tell you, obviously, that the two AC issues were because of the emergency
That's
nature
fine.
of it. But we will make
No,
certain, since you
right.
can't participate, that we will only talk about the piece that you cannot participate in. Is that fair?
Yeah, and I appreciate that. And I guess my question too is on these, we probably need to have some sort of policy to where, like, if an AC goes out, then Public Works just has to go fix it to where we need to do something to where we don't have to have an emergency meeting for something that we all know we have to fix. And maybe that's something we need to discuss at the next agenda or something. I don't know how best to do that, but if the AC goes out, then, Public Work needs to go fix it. We need to ratify it. I know they got to find a funding source, but I hate for every time something like this to happen that we have to try to have an emergency meeting, because I know it's hard to get everybody's schedules.
Agreed, and just so you know, we did do that on the temporary. I did sign the emergency order, and it was vetted by the county attorney, so we did get it fixed. As far as the temporary unit, that was just more of like a cleanup today. But the big issue today was it's over $50,000, and so it needed to come to court on the method of procurement. And we just took advantage of the fact that if we get it
I
done
got it.
today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but you're half
Okay.
right. We did get the temporary established under the emergency. Yes, ma'am.
Great. So basically what you're saying, Judge, is you signed the temporary, which is appropriate. What would have happened is we just happened to stick this on because you already had it. We wouldn't have set it just for this. I got you. Okay, fair.
That's correct. And then Kara wants to chime in.
Just for clarification, is he talking about conflict? Because he has
I
a
can't hear.
conflict for Padre Bayou.
Yes.
Just for the record, for transparency and for my minutes. You're not going to go
Yeah,
into.
I have no
Not on
conflict.
camping.
It's a voluntary recusal. It's not a legal conflict of interest on part of the discussion only. And it's a voluntary recusal, not a conflict of interest. Sorry if I said it wrong.
On the deed restriction.
Is that true?
Discussion.
Correct.
Dorsey, could you just, because I got different information about that, I want you that you clarify this, please.
My understanding is that the discussion is going to
I
be,
didn't-
I'm sorry? My understanding is that.
No, I didn't understand what Ida said at all. I'm sorry.
I just asked the county attorney to clarify because the county attorney, they're telling me it's something different, that anything related to Padre Bayou it's for the same situation. Is that true,
This is
Dorsey?
all going to be related to the matter where we have received the demand letter regarding Padre Bayou Park and all the parts of that.
Right, and part of that, right, and that's what I don't know. Part of it I could participate in, and part of it I've chosen not to. But certainly can still be involved.
You're cutting out, Commissioner.
I can certainly have a discussion about part of it, and I voluntarily taken myself out of the other part. So however you want to do that is fine.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to, as they say, I've got to look at my 12:23 PM. And we're not going to talk about the other piece of it today that you can participate in, okay?
Okay, thank you.
But I'll have it on my certified minutes. Okay, I'm going to ask everyone to clear the courtroom that doesn't need to be here, and we will come back in, and for the clerk, we're on a time frame, so I hope that we can have you back here in, Counselor, 15, 20 minutes max? Don't know? Would you guesstimate?
Yeah.
15, okay, thank you. Just to give you guys a, where are you? I know it's lunch. Okay, we are out of executive session, and for the record, Madam Clerk, it's 1:30 on the dot PM. And we do have action to take out of executive session. This was a consultation on item 3A, Kara, but it has a companion. And the companion on the agenda is item 2A1. Discuss and consider and direct outside counsel regarding the response and negotiation relating to the Padre Bayi Park cease and desist letter and any related legal issues. And the motion that I have here for the court to consider relates in two parts. One is a resolution authorizing the county judge to sign a notice regarding the deed restriction, and it would read as follows. Be it resolved by the Commissioners Court of Nueces County to resolve an issue and avoid a dispute regarding the Padre Bayi Park. The county hereby authorizes Nueces County Judge Barbara Canales to sign and finalize the notice regarding deed restriction discussed at the Nueces County Commissioners Court meeting on July 18th, 2022. And furthermore, there is a second part of that motion, which regards the directing outside counsel to continue to discuss and negotiate with regards to other matters not addressed by this resolution until we can place it on a upcoming Commissioners Court agenda. And by upcoming, I mean the very next one. Okay, so this doesn't resolve all matters, but the matters that are pending will be addressed on our next agenda, whenever that may be. We're about to post that date. It'll either be the 27th, the 28th, the 29th, but we will agree that it is the next one, Kara. Okay? And so with that, I'll kind of, that is my motion.
Okay.
And there is a second. And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Post same sign. Okay, that concludes our agenda for today. It was short. I don't have any adjournments in memory. Do any of you, commissioners, today? I don't. Okay, hearing no adjournments in memory, we will stand adjourned. Tell me again.
Clark?
Oh, my goodness, Kara. Of course, of course. Yes, but do you happen to have it with you?
No, we can.
Let me just say this, that our heartfelt condolences go out to we've lost two amazing, one was a direct Nueces County employee, family member, and the other one was a direct family member of our Nueces County family member, Beatriz in Judge Santana's office, on the loss of her son, and on Jamie Clark, who worked here in Nueces County for many years at the district attorney's office and also in purchasing, and happened in the same week, which was last week. And we need to follow up so that we can get more information to do the proper adjournment.
I have Jamie's, Judge.
Okay, I'm going to defer to Commissioner Modis, please.
Pull it up as well.
Well, Commissioner Modis has it. We just
I
want
have it.
to read this. Commissioner?
Jamie passed away on Friday, July 8th, with an unexpected illness. She was preceded in death by her stepfather and survived by her son, her parents, and siblings. The most important part of this is that her visitation will be this Thursday from 5 to 8 p.m. at Memory Gardens Funeral Home. And then there will be a celebration of life beginning at 6:30 on that same day, July 21st. So you can also share your sympathies. More information is available through Memory Garden Funeral Home. And just this was sad, unexpected. We knew Jamie through family friends and got to spend time with her over the last year or two. And so just a really wonderful person, and just really sad and so unexpected of how she passed. And so we know that just really bothered us to hear of her passing, and of course of her work family. Everyone in purchasing had worked with her. She was just a truly nice and wonderful and happy person. And so our condolences and prayers go out to her family.
Yes, thank you. I think we're all just kind of, in such a hurry, right? Thank you, Kara. But we want to even do that again next week when we have all our commissioners here. And anyway, please send all of your love and prayers to her, her surviving members of her family, and to our purchasing department family, who are really hit hard by this sudden loss. Thank you, commissioners, and we do stand adjourned 1:35 p.m. Thank you.